everybody, 8:25 a.m., January 6th, 2023. Welcome, welcome. We got some big news on the front. Unemployment, non-farm payrolls. Got some other data coming out at 10 p.m. Um, really quickly, that comes out in 5 minutes. We will look at that live. Let's just look at the watch list, see what's going on. Got some things in the news here. We got the VIX up about 1.47%. Makes sense with this data coming out. 10-year yields up 0.81. And let's see, the dollar's up. All right. The Dow is flat. The Russell's flat. ES only down 0.14. Crude is down 0.19. And let's see, bonds are being sold. Let's see, NASDAQ is down 0.47. It's weaker of the indexes, and Bitcoin's down. Real quick, some leaders and laggards, which there's not much to note. There's no really leader, so we'll go to the laggards. You got BABA down 1.16. You got Coin down 1.85. There's some news, I believe, was of a China crypto thing laying off people, so that's going to be bad for crypto. Tesla has price cuts in Japan. They're down 7.43%. That stock's getting hammered. Top stocks in the sectors, we got Costco's up 2.18%. Let's look at that first. Costco stock rises as holiday sales gain. That's why that happened. Okay. What else we got? Any laggard here to speak of is JP Morgan. Sectors, let's see, Staples, which is Costco. I mean, that's not big. And the only laggard is discretionary, which makes sense. It's Tesla. So that's that. We got news coming out. So let's look at the SPY Daily while I pull up the news. Give me a sec here. Get the economic calendar. What else happened? The Eurozone. Just other news. Eurozone inflation fell. Samsung had horrible news about they lost like 70%. Their operating profit is likely to have fallen by nearly 70% in the fourth quarter. That's pretty bad. And that Huobi is one of the large crypto exchanges. That's the one I was talking about, who's going to be doing layoffs. And of course, we got the jobs and stuff like that coming out. Let me pull that up. We can look at that live together. Look at the futures, what that does. All right, so we got that coming up in about a minute. So really want to look at the non-farm payrolls. Forecasted for 200,000. We got 263 last time, which was not good. Unemployment, they're looking for no change. Last time's 3.7. They're forecasting 3.7. And then at 10, you have ISM non-manufacturing employment, and then you got ISM non-manufacturing PMI. So watch if you're in the day trade at 10 a.m. Had some Fed speak. Bostic speaks today 11:15, and look, Bostic, I guess, is speaking again at 2:30. Very interesting. So we're gonna brace for this news coming out any second. I'll bring you over to an hourly chart, but I want to see the numbers hit. This is definitely could take us out of the balancing range we've been in. So let's see. Of course, we all know the balancing range we've been in. There it is. Let's see what happens here. There it is. Okay. So here's the news. initial spike.
Here's what I
So so the unemployment rate went down, which is interesting. We're pushing higher, but non-farm payrolls added 223 payrolls. So that's supposed to be negative for the market. Okay, so I don't know why we're getting an initial spike. So 223, that's 23,000 over unemployment rate. But that's really crazy. Obviously, everyone wants to see this go up. It is less. It's down point 0.2. So let's look at what's going on in the market here. This is kind of odd that the market really ripped up higher first. Very interesting. I will suspect that we're going to get a Victor. I see you. I did have a nice holiday. Thank you. Um, so let's see what happens here. I mean, this is really not supposed to be bullish. Okay. And if you notice in this range here, this key support level 3806 held, and there's a demand zone down here. Okay. And look where we topped out at. Um, let's see here. I might have to change that where the 90 MA daily is now. Let me see where that is. 3858. So and we popped up here, which is not out of the range. So I mean, really, it's a nothing burger right now because we're in the middle. And then of course, where are we in the middle of? Right? Turquoise box is the most traded price of the month. Purple box is the most traded price of the week. Okay. Now, if you notice, guys who and girls who've been following my channel, um, usually see this profile green. It's usually this. It's been the same because before it was like the year. It was now I reset this to the beginning of the year. This profile now, this green profile, you can see why there's two. This is just from the beginning, the first trading day of this year. Okay, I just wanted to point that out. And the big white one is always from a year ago. So this just automatically resets 365 days ago. Okay, that's why you guys are seeing this most traded price of this year is 38.30, and the most traded price of a year ago is up here. So they were equal last year, but now we reset the year and it's not. This is very interesting to me because this trend line was holding the market like very nicely. Broke it now, but that's news, right? But we're in the middle of the worst area you could be. It's just like you're in the middle of this range. This is should be bearish, right? So I'm a little surprised. I'm a little surprised. Hold on, let me go to. So I want to look at this again. little surprised here. I mean, unemployment went down, non-farm payrolls went up. Like green means good for our economy, but this in this case, in our current economy, that is bearish. I still think if this is a nothing burger right now, as far as like, I still think this might be not a trap, but you have to be bearish on this, but you have to follow what the market does as well. So I really think if we manage to make it up here, I mean, that's a short in my eyes. If we have trouble getting out of this range, because this is a little surprising. We're just in the middle of the chop, which is just, you don't want to do any kind of trading there. Wow, that's like just a nothing, a nothing. All right, I'm gonna move on to the daily chart since that right now has didn't produced much, not much. Let me look at the SPY too. I mean, look, we didn't break out of anything. Just balance. We're just in balance. I mean, this is not much to see here. Let's just go into that. Let's just go into the Qs. I mean, not as tight of a balance range, but it is, overnight closes. I'm seeing what you're writing there, Victor. Everyone else waiting for 10 a.m. Yeah, I would think maybe you're right. I mean, we got more data, right? Coming out. We got a Fed member speaking, so it's just, we're in this range, and man, can we really stay in this range? That's kind of nuts. That really is. Um, I mean, let's see what's on the docket for next week. I mean, let's see. Ooh, ooh, look at Tuesday. Tuesday, Fed Powell speaks at 8 a.m. And what else we got next week? Oh, there you go. If that ain't gonna break, if this ain't breaking us out, we got CPI. CPI on Thursday. That will definitely do the job. And then what else we got? FOMC, consumer. Yeah, that's next week. You really pay attention to Tuesday and Thursday. Man. So if today doesn't break us out, even the 10 a.m., the news at 10 a.m., if we don't break out of that, then the market's going to wait for CPI. Fed Powell speaking on Monday could move it too, but really that CPI is going to be key. That's going to be really key. All right. Let's see. Now, I'll be honest with you. Now that happened, I purposely didn't chart anything of note just because I thought we'd break out and my levels would just get destroyed. Um, and now I can kind of look at these levels here to just find my supply and demand, maybe support and resistance here, just to see if there's anything of note. I'm just going to go down. I think I saw some supply that I was going to put that I didn't put. I think it got broke. Anyway. Here we go. So right there is a 90-minute supply zone that did not get touched, right? So you can see it right here. Okay. So I wasn't going to plot that, but because I thought the non-farm payrolls wouldn't get rid of that, right? So now we have to plot that. So right there, we'll set an alert. If we come back there, I'll have that level down here, right? So now we got some supply there. Very interesting. This is very interesting. And let's just see if we break it down to a 15-minute. Let's just see what that supply did that I just marked, right? So that's how that supply zone acted yesterday in a 15-minute. Came up here, kind of balanced in here, found sellers, right? So okay. Just looking to see this is still in the middle of this chop, guys and girls. Still in the middle of this chop. Okay? Not where you want to be. Not where you want to be. So what I'm gonna really quickly do is that I just hit that supply zone here, right? So I'm gonna go to my NASDAQ just to see in the NASDAQ's weaker, still in this range, right? This last line of defense, 107.58 here, is held, okay? And we're right at the most traded price of this year and of the week, okay? Got a nice complete profile too for this year. Look at that profile. That's why we're balancing, boy. So I just want to do the same thing I did in the ES. Now I'm taking the time to do this with you guys because there's not a lot to talk about because we're balancing and we're still in the middle of the range. There isn't a lot of new ones that I'm going to be able to talk about. So that's why I'm going to take this time just to do some levels. You can see how I plot the supply and demand zones. Now let's see. Whoa. I don't usually talk about crude with you guys, but look at that crude move. Did something just... What the heck? I'll be honest with you, this is in the area of this trend line and supply zone where I wanted to short. And I don't usually trade in the overnight session. And I just got an alert. You can see the demand right here. It was balancing and ripped. You can see the most traded price here, so that's very interesting to me. That must have been news driven, I would assume. And the market's starting to... This is very interesting. Okay, so I can see a little 4-hour supply here, but I don't really like that level too much. It's too big of a range for me. So let's go to the 3-hour. Let's see here. There we go. We got some 3-hour supply right there. So let's mark that now. So you can see that supply zone already, that candle came in there and whipped right out of there. So again, I didn't do these because normally when I do this and the news comes out like this, it did just get... all your levels get ripped apart, and it's just like, why did I even do it? I should have just waited for after the news to happen. this is a nice supply zone here. Okay, and look at this demands right here. Look at the market, huh? Kind of a double bottom here. Like I said, I think this is, unless something just came out, and I'm gonna check right now. So give me one sec, guys. I just want to see if there's anything just came out, hit the wire. I see UBS and Morgan Stanley doing a lot of ratings on stocks. I don't. Provides corporate. I'm not seeing anything. Unless anybody else knows. Just wanted to check. Okay. Now this isn't complete, but well, I mean, this is 3 hours. I mean, this is very interesting. Now we have the double bottom here. So this is demand, 3 hour demand. I mean, look at that. We balanced here for 3 hours and we just ripped higher. This was a little mini supply right here that just got ripped. But we're hitting the most traded price of the month. So I am going to mark this. Marking this demand zone on the Qs. I might have to go back to the ES to see if there is a demand zone there. No, I'm still in the 3 hour time zone. Let's work our way down. Okay. Look at crude, guys. I hate that that's happening now, but look at the crude into the supply zone, hitting this trend line and this key resistance level and starting to sell off. That's where I wanted to short, but I don't like the trade before the open. But crude's a little different, but that was my plan. In here short. So hopefully we stay up there. So here's NQ 90-minute. Alright, so we have supply here, but this supply zone already taken it, so I don't see anything there. And we go back to the 60. Let's see, 60. Nope. We have resistance here. We have. This is really surprising me. See, guys, I think this is still a trap for today to get short up here at the top of the range, but I could be wrong. Obviously, I'm gonna wait, right? Because the news isn't bullish, but that doesn't mean the market could do whatever it wants, you know. This level doesn't mean much anymore, so we can get rid of this. Okay. So we're back into this range. So let's go back to the ES. See if they made a demand like that. Nah, see, it's not as nice as the NQ. This is too big of a range. Let's see if the 3 hour. No, I don't really like that demand zone. That's too big. Not like I like the NQs better. I have a support level there anyway that's there, so I don't need to write that. So writing zones is definitely to each his own. What you want to put down, what works for you, you know. It's very to each his own how you want to chart. Whatever you use, whatever makes it better for you, was what's important. That's what's important when you chart. It took me a while to get comfortable in my levels and how I do it, what's important to me. So now I have that down. I don't really have to look at anybody's levels or doubt my levels, which just comes in experience. You could see it very quickly when you look at a chart now. So this is the ES, and we're starting to look at crude pushing again. All right, all right. I see you. I see you, alert. Um, we got this demand up here. All right. I'm sorry, supply in ES. That's the first place you're gonna want to look for for sellers possibly to come in. Ultimately, this 38.95 to 39.06 area is a point where you want to look to be possibly short. Okay. I'm just gonna see where that 20 MA is lying. 3900. So this blue is the 20 simple moving average on a daily chart. So that's very confluent. You see that? So we have a supply zone up here and top of the range. Now, ultimate, you could say that these are all resistances, right? But this level in particular, you have a supply zone, you have a naked VPOC, you have supply zone, you have the 20-day simple moving average, okay? And this is the top of the range for the year. You can see the profile, the green profile, see ends right here. So yes, I really want to see what this supply zone, what it could do. But this supply zone that's here, okay, that's already acted as, look at that, the candles went in here, very tipped it in there, and they sold off. This is really where you want the market to extend, okay? Okay, all these shorts are getting squeezed now. That's why this is now pushing higher. So I still think this is a little bit of a trap. And the beauty in this is because all these longs now, if the market opens up and we are in this area, right? I mean, the macro, in the macro setting of the market, everybody kind of expects us to go into recession in the first quarter. So shorts, people are probably looking to take profits. So today's a day that profile isn't going to show us much because we're just in this range, and it's all about the top and the bottom of the range. That's really it. And you can clearly see it here. Top of the range, bottom of the range. Clearly see it in this profile for the year so far. Okay. So see, it just nipped this supply zone. See how it already is reacting to the supply zone here. I'm still amazed at how these supply zones work. Sometimes it's like, Jesus. Look at that. It literally just nipped it. Look at that. It's amazing how those things freaking work. All right, so that's my plan for today, guys. I don't even have to show you mocha profile. We're just gonna just mark up this chart right here. All right. Usually, market profile, I'm gonna lean on that for my read. You don't need that today. You don't need that for this balance range. So, gonna see how it reacts here. Okay. And then we get into this area from 38.95 to 39.06 with the 20 simple moving average and a naked VPOC up here, confluent. Okay. I'm sure there's a trend line here too, but I don't really need that because we're in a balancing range. But I'm saying, let's just say someone was marking a wedge here. Like, look at this. Probably from here, you can mark. Let's see, probably you can mark this from here. See, you can mark a trend line. And it lines up around here, right? But I'm not putting too much weight into that. Okay, but I'm just saying how different people chart. So, name of the game today, like I just said, is that supply zone ahead. I'm telling you right now, what my plan, what I'm going to look at is how the market reacts when we get into this supply zone or in this area. This area is better to get into. You're top of the range, and guess what? Everybody from down here to up here is long. Okay, and then it could be a beautiful short. All right, that's what I'm looking at. Yes, if we, and then now that I see CPIs next week, we could just what I could see happening. Okay, what I could see happening. Oh, crude's moving now. Okay, I'm gonna probably get going now, just because this is the only thing I'm looking at for me. If we get up here, how do we do in here? And if we get up here, okay, because if we do manage to come up here, do a little fake out, and we start to traverse, we're gonna go all the way back into this chop, maybe to the back of the here, and then we're gonna wait for CPI and Powell next week, or 3806. If we can, there's a demand zone here, but if we can go down, maybe we go down on 3782. This could set off the breakout today, or it could be a bounce up when we balance for CPI and Powell. Okay, that's it for me. That's my plan for me. Okay, we're in a range. You don't want to do trades inside this range, like in the middle of it. It's not good. It's gonna get chopped. It's not high probability. Okay, you want the edges. You want the edges. Okay, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, I mean, if you look at the market profile, look at this. I mean, it literally engulfed the whole session yesterday. So this session is like pretty much meaningless. And basically, it's the range, not full range, but here's our supply zone, and here, it literally the whole session went, the overnight went all the way up and down, right? We are technically gapping up. So, a filling of the gap could be, like I said, I'm only looking if we move up. So that's my plan for today, guys. Um, I'll leave you with the watch list. And I hope everybody has a good day, has a good weekend. I will update later if I see anything of note. Okay. And I wish everybody a green day. Give me the usual comment, like, subscribe, the thing I always say. Hopefully, maybe there's a new subscriber. Share it with your friends, your trading friends. Um, and everybody have a good day. Hopefully, I can come on and update and see what I said. Maybe we get that trade, catch that trade together. Let's see. All right, guys. I'll see you guys on Monday.